Welcome to LaughLines and LifeLines Podcast.
We're getting good at
yes,
that.
we are. Well, we have had a big couple weeks.
Oh my
Elly just got back from Guatemala.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Minnesota at my family's cabin for the last 9 days.
I didn't realize
So,
you were there. That's a long
Yeah,
time.
it was a long time.
Because you guys left last
Thursday.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yep, and it's Sunday today. So yeah, it was a very long vacation, very much needed. And we can fill you in on it in a little bit. We are now back to our regular scheduled programming.
Hopefully you enjoyed the Instagram updates.
Yes.
I tried my best when I had service.
Yeah,
Just like, I
yeah.
gotta post
We
something.
tried our best to keep everybody updated on what we were doing and how our adventures were going.
Mhm.
So we're going to update you now on those. So Elly,
Yeah.
I'm going to have you go first. What
Okay.
you were doing there, what you did,
Just
your
everything.
thoughts on everything. Yeah. So take it away.
Well, as an overarching overarching point, I was texting Cheeks and I was like, this
Sound guy.
impacted me so much, sound guy,
Yep.
that my next tattoo is going to be about it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was in Guatemala I was gone for like a total of 8 days, all of Saturday, and then all the way through the next Saturday. I actually got back at like 3 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was fun. Long story. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Travel.
But yeah, so last Saturday I left my apartment at 3 a.m. Got to the airport. We flew 2.5 hours to Atlanta. Had like 40 minutes to run to our next
Oh, nice.
flight, so that was cool.
Okay. Typical.
And then went from there. We flew 3.5 hours to Guatemala City. And then in Guatemala City, you have to do the customs and whatever. That was actually pretty easy because we were just coming in, so they don't have much to
like check
look for.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't know. I've never been out of the country, so I'll take your word for it.
well, okay. And to be honest, even coming back, I was expecting way more of for customs.
Yeah.
They didn't even open my stuff.
Oh wow. Okay.
Granted, I only had a carry-on, so maybe they were like,
Oh.
she can't really fit much in there.
Right.
But like, I don't know. If someone really tried, they could hide some crap in there.
Looking for specific things.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, got to Guatemala City, and then we stayed in a smaller town that was like 4 hours away from Guatemala City. So we
Okay.
had to caravan in these two vans. And
How long did that take?
Oh my gosh, at that point it was like 5 p.m.
Oh my.
So
Okay.
we were told beforehand, like our youth pastor who took everybody on the trip, she was like, yeah, the ride should only be like 2.5, 3 hours. And so I'm like, I can do that. Like,
Yeah.
and I also get very car sick, keep in mind, so anything is horrible. I had like a 6-part arsenal of anti-nausea
Oh no.
in my fanny pack. Like I was ready.
Yeah.
Nothing. I was not puking. I refused.
Yes.
So then we all are like waiting for the vans to come pick us up, and Daniel was like one of the head construction foremen that like was also a translator for our group. So he picked us up like from the airport and then got us to our vans.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, so normally it's about 2.5, 3 hours with some construction in the city, and obviously it's 5 o'clock. It's gonna be like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And we're all like, because we had just flown like
here we
7
go.
hours.
Yep.
And so I popped a double dose of I had brought regular Dramamine.
Ooh.
Let me just unpack my arsenal quick. Regular Dramamine,
Okay.
less drowsy Dramamine.
Okay.
Like acupuncture,
Yep.
pressure point, like wristbands. So
Okay.
That are supposed to be anti-nausea.
Right. Did you get the
Dramamine-
goggles?
I did.
You
I
did.
did. I didn't ever have to wear them though, so I don't actually know if they work.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, like these like glasses, goggles kind of things from Amazon.
They are really goofy.
Patches for behind my ears.
Okay.
And peppermints
Yep.
and ginger chews.
Okay.
So like when I tell you I was not throwing
An
up,
arsenal.
I was
Yep.
not throwing up.
Okay.
So we get into the van. I popped the patches behind my ears. Popped the double dose of Dramamine, regular, full strength.
Oh my god.
I'm like, the only thing I have left to do is pass the heck out. So then I fell asleep for basically the whole ride. So
Okay.
yeah, so then we drove 5 hours to Panajachel where we were staying. And there's this beautiful, like, oh my gosh, guys, I was not expecting all of like the greenery for some reason. I just thought it would. I don't know what I was expecting. I've never been out of the country before.
Yeah.
But it was so beautiful, and we stayed at it's called the River House, and like the mission, the like group that we went to was called Mission Guatemala.
Okay.
So they own this property, whatever. And it's like the lower level is where like the people who live there full time, they stay there, and like the cook sleeps there. And then they have like a separate like place for eating. And then upstairs is like apartments, kind of. So there's like 4 corner apartments and like a group of girls, like, but then there's 4 rooms in each apartment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So then like a handful of us younger girls and our moms and friends got like one apartment. The boys and the dads got the other one. And then like the older ladies, we had a handful of like, we had a lady who was 70 come with us. And we had a lady who was like 55 come with us.
Nice.
And then one of the other moms that was a little bit older, and then one of our like, she like grew up with us. She's like 30, but she like has always been a part of the youth group, so she sit over there with them. So then we got there and it was just amazing, and they had dinner ready for us like right away. We all were like, oh my gosh.
What kind of food was it?
They kind of mixed it up. So the first night it was like a taco salad.
Oh, okay.
So like rice and whatever. So that was like kind of an introduction to like kind of some of the food we'd have.
Yeah.
For breakfast most days it was eggs, tortillas, beans, fruit.
Okay. So just like universal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But then like some nights they made like spaghetti.
Oh.
And like another night they had tacos and like quesadillas and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and oh my gosh, I was also telling Sound Guy, they were so good about my gluten. They had, I'm trying to cut out gluten, like really trying. And
Kudos
after not having it for any, after not having any for a week, I feel so good.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, so I actually need to like be serious about it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
proof's in the pudding.
Yep.
But, they were so good about it. So that was really good. We had a different like blend of coffee every morning, and the Guatemala coffee.
I'm so jealous.
It's so good. And I'm like not really a coffee snob. Like I can kind of drink whatever.
Yeah.
But I like tried it the first day and I was like,
okay.
oh my gosh. So I bought a pound of it to bring back.
Yes.
So that's what I made this morning before church.
Oh,
and it was so good. But yeah, so the first day we just drove and then ate dinner and went to bed.
Right.
And then the like first full day we were there was like, it was a Sunday, so we didn't work. But we had like they had someone come in that did like a traditional Mayan like offering ceremony.
Oh.
So we like climbed up this hill, and then they did like, I don't remember what it was called, but we had a bunch of like colored candles.
Okay.
And like flowers in a circle. I'm like also trying to describe this to Abraham. I don't know if he would know what it's called.
Yeah.
But some sort of offering, and she was explaining all of like the different
the meaning behind it.
Yeah, and they have like 13 different things. It was very informative.
If anybody knows, tell us in the comments.
Please let us know, because I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it like was around a fire, and it was like all these things, and we got to like be part of it and like say things when she like invited us to, so that was cool. And after that we went into like the tourist town kind of, and walked to the shops and spent money and whatever.
Of course.
Yeah. And then Monday through Thursday we just worked at the mission site. So Mission Guatemala has a clinic that they bought to serve the people of Panajachel and then any of the surrounding cities for people to come in.
Okay.
So they I think they first started, he was telling us, with like a shelf of medicine.
Oh.
Like ibuprofen, Benadryl, like diabetes, like insulin, like random stuff like that. And now it's this huge thing, and it's so cool to see. But
praise God.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And they have like 2 different buildings. Yeah, it's crazy. And so we got there and we met all of the men that we'd be working with, and there was one girl. She was our translator. So she was like my age, so we were like besties the whole time.
So at that point, did you know? Because we had spoken before about like what you were gonna do there.
Yeah, we had no idea.
At that point, did you know?
So we
what
knew
the plan
then
was?
that we'd be at the clinic.
Okay.
But then we like every morning we had like a meeting about like who wants to do this job, because there's 18 of us that traveled with this group.
Okay.
So like normally their groups are like 10 people, so they can like the 5 of you do this task, 5 of you do this task. We had 18 of us, so they're like 2 people go here, 3 people go here, like so we kind of switched it up every day. But yeah, the first day we introduced everybody, all the foremen introduced themselves. The sweetest men I've ever met in my life.
Aww.
They have so much knowledge, so much of the Holy Spirit just everywhere. Like it was, I can't even.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was crazy. And like super cool also to like figure out our communication.
Yeah.
Because half of the foremen didn't speak any English.
Okay.
So I mean, we had the translators, but sometimes translators are busy translating.
Right there. Yeah. Yeah.
So then we're like trying to point and we're trying to talk, and they're like learning some English and we're learning some Spanish. And, But it was so cool. We all were just like working together.
Yeah.
So yeah, every day it was like 85 degrees.
Ooh.
And like 82% humidity.
Yowza.
And we're close to the equator, so it was like 12 UV.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She showed me a picture. Maybe we'll post it. Maybe not. But that she
I got
put sunscreen
fried.
on and she
I
still
wore
got fried.
sunscreen, and
yeah.
I'm like purple. I mean, now it's tan, so
Yeah.
that's good.
We're good.
But yeah, so I did all sorts of projects there. The first day I was in a hole in the ground with a jackhammer, getting concrete, because they're like, right now they have like a small gate that's like the entrance, but they don't have any parking space really for people to park if they have cars.
Yeah.
So now we're like expanding. They're like making a new gate basically, so we have to like put the big posts in to be like the sides of the gate, and then they're gonna take out all the wall in the middle. So that's for another group. Yeah. But I was in there jackhammering the cement away, and actually the first day we got there, the power went out.
Oh, of course.
So we actually had to chisel this concrete.
Oh my god.
By hand.
Putting that elbow grease in.
Oh, I was like, Lord.
Did you get blisters?
I had gloves, girl.
Oh,
girl, I was prepared.
Did you really work though? I'm just kidding.
Prepared.
I'm kidding.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm like chiseling away at this. I'm like, Lord,
my God.
If this is what I have to do all week, thank you. But just please give me strength, because nothing's. And then I'd be like, can you come show me like a better way to do this? And they'd come over and just like chisel like.
Oh, like it's no big deal.
I'm like, oh, okay.
That's funny.
But the power we got. So then 3 guys like went back to the river house, which is like a good 20 minutes from where we were working.
Yeah.
To get a generator, and by the time they got back, the power was back on. But apparently that's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
A lot.
That makes sense.
The power goes out.
Yeah.
So it happened at the house we were staying at, the complex thing we were staying at.
Okay.
But yeah, so I worked in a hole, jackhammered some concrete, worked with rebar, like the metal stuff that goes in between concrete.
Yep.
Yeah, that was hard. The second and third day, we marked like the walls of one of the buildings to cut out windows.
Okay.
So I didn't know how hard it would be to measure a window.
That's hard.
And like I kept saying, so I don't know, have you seen The Amazing Race?
Like long time ago.
Okay.
Long
but
time
you
ago.
know like the concept of when they like get to a place and have to like do the challenge?
Yeah.
And then they like hand them the ticket, they go, it's good. And they like hand them the ticket and then they go.
Yeah.
I felt like I was a contestant on Amazing Race. Because we're like sitting there, there's 3 of us girls like measuring out these things. And they had one done on one of the walls.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, copy it on this wall. Copy it on the insides of each wall. So that's
oh my gosh.
And then a 4th. I don't think I was in my microphone the whole time. Sorry guys. Hopefully you can hear. So we had to like trace 3, and then a 4th that they would have to trace the outside because it was like on the roof.
Yeah.
But we traced the inside of it. And he was like, see this one? We're like, yeah. He said, exact same.
Oh my gosh. That's so much pressure.
And we're like, okay. He goes, exact same.
That requires math.
He goes, see where bottom is? Line up. See where top is? Lines up door? Exact same. And we're like, he's trying to speak English. We're trying to like,
oh my god.
And he'll like switch into Spanish and like that, which is perfectly fine.
That's a lot of trust to put in to some 20-year-old.
Right. And I'm like, okay, if they really were that serious, but like if it was really that big of a deal, they wouldn't let us do it. So
right.
Like, well,
that's true.
What's the worst we can do? So then we're like exchanging all these languages, and he's like teaching me Spanish. He's like, this. He says it in Spanish, and he says it in English. So he's like, from now on, Espanol. I'm like, okay. So then we're like tracing, and then the Amazing Race part comes in because like we like got the window done. He comes over with the tape measure, and he's going like by the millimeter. I kid you not. Oh my gosh. He's like lining it up. He goes, no good. I was like, oh no.
Oh, here we go.
That was only the first one. So he's like, needs to move over ½ inch. I'm like, there's no way. And then we just
okay.
But then like
accept defeat.
Yeah, but then we like it was just so I didn't know how hard it would be to measure a window because that wall
tough.
was like all the one that they had done before we had gotten there. It was like a whole white wall, so it was just there. And then the one that we had to copy it on was like that same width of the white wall, and then it had an extra like green brick like on the other side of it. So it was
throws
like
the whole thing off.
so it was like technically bigger than the other one. So we're like, do we center it on the white or including the green? He's like, with the green. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And it had to be like the same height and the same.
Oh, goodness.
And then we had to do it the exact same on the other side of the wall where you can't see anything.
Nope.
So he's taking this like square, like the like square rulers that have like a corner on them.
What are they called?
I don't know. No, that's a circle.
No, that's a circle.
It just looks like a right angle. Like it's like
I know. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
like
They're
the corner of the
called
wall.
something though.
Oh yeah, they are. We used it to kill the bugs.
We're gonna look really silly when after this.
Oh my gosh, the bugs. The bugs.
Ew.
Yeah. Right angle finder.
Right angle ruler.
Okay.
There's a name for it. There's another name for it.
Are you thinking of like a level?
No.
Okay.
No.
So then he's like taking this whatever right angle ruler and like making sure we have it the exact same on the other side. Like, oh my gosh.
No.
Hand square. So anyway, finally we get the perfecto.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that there's like a slang word for it.
Probably.
I just can't think of it. Anyway.
So we finally get perfecto.
Okay.
And we're like, oh.
Hey.
And by the time that's done, the whole work day is gone.
Like
we were, it took us forever.
You know, he probably like plans for that.
True. And like, okay, we didn't take, like we had like another like hour after that, I guess.
Okay.
But we spent that then. So the room that we were in used to be like their storage room, but they're making it into like a surveillance security room.
Oh.
Like a guard to come in and stay overnight.
Yeah.
And so that's why we had to cut these 2 giant windows in it. So we had to take all the shelves out of there, all of the stuff out of there, like the fridge. There's a fridge in there. There's a whole workbench that we had to disassemble.
Yeah.
And then they made a new storage room, but that's down the flight of stairs of the place. So
Oh
we're like
my
carrying all this
gosh.
stuff downstairs. So we finished.
Manual
we got the
labor.
room emptied and we got the windows drawn. The first day we were like, working on the windows.
Yeah.
And the next day we cut them and sledgehammered all the concrete out from. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Out of the middle of it. And then we swept all the dead spiders out of the room. And there were some live ones. And boy, oh boy, did we scream.
Nope.
They make them huge there. They're literally huge. And one of the guys, Eric, one of the foremen, he like came in and was checking something. And we were like, Eric, get the spider. We're not doing it. And he takes the square ruler and he like jabs at it. And then our catchphrase for the rest of the week, he holds up, he goes, "It's dead."
Oh my god.
The whole rest of the week, we'd just be
dead.
like, "It's dead." So we finally got that room done. We got everything cut out, everything taken out of there. We swept all of the concrete dust. They were like, "It needs to be clean." We're like, "Okay."
That makes sense.
Okay. So we swept it. And then the last day I think was my favorite day because we did everything. Like we did one project and everybody from our group did it together.
Oh, that's cool.
Because the other 3 days, with perfect sense, like they had so many things that they wanted to get done.
Of course.
So they had like 2 people.
Suppose
here,
it's like a
4 people
never-ending list.
Yeah.
You know.
And the group of guys, oh my gosh, they work so fast. They like made this whole ramp in the backyard so that the workers can like walk up and not like die every time they walk up the hill.
Yeah.
But we took tiles from the river house that used to be in the pool, and we took them out of the pool, loaded them up into the truck, drove them 20 minutes to the clinic,
Oh my
unloaded
gosh.
them, and then they took the tiles and made them into this ramp. And it was so cool. And that's another thing I noticed while we were there. They are so freaking innovative.
Yeah.
They don't waste a
They
single
have
thing.
to be. Yeah.
They don't waste a single thing.
Yep.
Everything they use is for something good. It was insane.
Wow.
Insane. But the last day, we did everything together because then we had finally... So the hole I was in the first day, they finally got everything cleared out of that, everything dug, everything leveled.
Okay.
So we had to put in this big, huge rebar column and then pour like concrete to stabilize the columns. So we were all... It was actually really cool. We had a huge assembly line of like we made the concrete, then we poured the concrete into the wheelbarrow, and then we passed buckets down this whole like assembly line, and they poured them in, and they ran them back, and that was really cool, just to do something all together finally.
Yeah.
And then I think that's all. Oh no, and then we had to make more concrete and carry the buckets of concrete downstairs to the ramp.
Right. Okay.
So we had an assembly line running down the stairs. Yeah. And then they
Don't
finished.
Bump the camera, honey.
They finished.
If you don't cut this out, Everly's here, my 4-year-old.
Said,
and she's chomping at the bit to be right here.
But anyway, so last day we poured all that concrete, and then they are making, so on the same wall that they're like cutting out to make the new entrance, they're adding like a, because the clinic is in really a bad spot, like they're right on a curve.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody knows this, but they don't have no laws about driving in Guatemala. That is crazy. It is bonkers.
That's scary.
Yeah, but like these people are like waiting for a tuk-tuk or like a taxi or a van or something to pick them up, and they're like waiting, and they don't have sidewalks. So they're just like waiting on the road, and there comes a car that doesn't see them. So the clinic is making like a cutout that juts like into like the clinic property. It's like a cutout so that they can wait in that little nook for like the bus or something, so they're not on the road. Yeah. So some other girls were making like the concrete and making the wall. Yeah. So we finally got finished with that. And like throughout the week we heard from like the clinic doctor, and we heard from the Mission Guatemala also has a scholarship program and a nutrition program. Okay. So we heard from the two people that do that, and that was really cool. And then the last day we like got finished, and then we're all like trying to stay there longer because no one wants to say goodbye. Of course. So then they circle us up, and Daniel's like, well, this is where we have to say goodbye now. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there like, I really didn't think I'd cry. Right. Because I'm like, at that point, I'm ready to be done working. Like, I'm so happy I was there, and it was informative. It was hard, but it was like so awesome. But I was just ready to be done. Right. But then we like got there, and all of the like construction foremen, like they went around and they each said like their thank yous and whatever. Oh yeah. And then like they say it in they say it in Spanish, so they say it in their native language, and like that's super cool. And then someone translates it for them. Yeah. So then they say it again to us, and they're just so thankful. Aw. And there's like that circle, there was so much Jesus. It was crazy. They're all like, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for supporting the mission. Like, God bless each and every one of you. Like, safe travels. Like, we couldn't do it without you. And I just lost it. Oh, I lost it because they don't make people like that in America. Right. People don't care. Yep. They don't. And I just didn't want to leave because they were the best people, some of the best people I've ever met. Yeah. And then each of us from the church, like, went around and talked, like, said, like, thank you, or said whatever. And then I lost it all over again. Yeah. As I do. I used to be a crier. Like, growing up, I'd cry a lot. Yeah. I don't cry as much anymore, but for some reason, I was emotional. Well, it's like when you go on a mission trip, from what I hear and see from people, like, it's such a transformative there we go, transformative experience. Yeah. So like you're almost like an outside your body experience. So, and I knew like the second we got back into the States, no one cared anymore. Like, yeah. Right. That's so unfortunate. Yeah. And like people would ask, like my friends have been texting me whatever. Yeah. They're like, how's your trip? How's your mission? And like every text I've sent, I say in the least dramatic way possible, like it changed my life. Yeah. Like not to be like, it changed my life. Oh, I'm transformed. Like, I hate that. Yeah. But seriously, like, it just made such an imprint on me. And it's, like, hard to describe. It's just, you just have to go. And we were on the plane on the way there. And the youth pastor, Chris, her and I've been through everything with her. Like, when I was in middle school, I went to that youth group. So she, like, watched me grow up. Aww. And, like, watched me go back and forth between churches and watched me work through my grandpa dying and my parents getting divorced. So it was like this whole thing, and we were sitting on the plane. I was next to her. She was like, I think this trip is going to be special for you on the way there. And I'm like, oh yeah, like it's going to be special for everybody, like whatever. And she's like, She's like, I think you're a lot like me, and my first trip to Guatemala, like, literally changed my life. I'm like, yeah, like, well, whatever. We'll see. And then I'm in the clinic bawling.
Oh.
And she comes over to me. She's like, so remember what I said? I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So we left the clinic and
had quite the travel day home.
Well, then we had a day before the travel day.
Oh, okay.
So we stopped working on Thursday.
Oh, gotcha.
And then Friday we had like a free day, fun day to like explore the surrounding cities. So we went to like a bed and breakfast hotel. Such good food.
Ooh, okay.
And they had a dog there that has an Instagram. She's this little tiny like long haired chihuahua.
Ew. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a big like large dog person.
Yeah. And then after that we like saw one of the local pottery places. That was really cool. I bought some pottery.
Cool.
I hope it's all in one piece. I haven't unpacked it.
Okay.
And then we went to like a weaving business place. Got to see all the different types of like looms I have and stuff. And then I got to try on like the traditional like clothing.
Oh,
they like
cool.
picked 2 girls and 2 guys to like put us in. So that was really cool. And then we just hung out in Pana again and finished shopping. We ate lunch in Pana. Yeah. I hailed our tuk-tuk to take us back.
Ooh.
That was cool. And I took a nap because I was beat.
Yeah.
And then we all were like, okay, go to bed early because we have to get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which then we had all decided, we have to wake up early. Why not wake up at 4 to go see the sunrise?
Of course.
So it's like 4:30. We're all getting up to go see the sunrise.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful, though. Definitely worth it.
So worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just kind of reversed the whole travel process. We drove 4 hours back to Guatemala City, which I don't know why we left. And like, okay, I do know why we left because they're like, what if you get a flat tire? Like you have to fix it, and then you're in a different country. Like your whole flight's gonna get messed up. So we left the river house at like 6:30 a.m. Our flight out of Guatemala City was not until 1 o'clock.
Ah, okay.
So then we get to the airport at like 9:45, 10 o'clock. So we go through all the lines and whatever, and then we had probably an hour and a half until our flight. So I just hung out, paid my rent, paid my first ever rent payment in a different country.
Yep.
That was crazy. Got on the plane, and then we're like, okay, we had a 3-hour total layover in Atlanta, which from that time we had to go through customs and go through security and check all our bags again and like whatever. So really we only had like an hour and a half layover once we got finished with everything. So we're like, okay, we have an hour and a half by the time we see where our gate is, drop our stuff off, have someone stay to watch it, go get food because we hadn't eaten all day.
Ooh.
Besides like snacks.
Yeah.
So our flight was supposed to leave at 9:30, I think, 9:50 something. And then we're like actively lining up to board the plane. Like actively lining up to board the plane. And they come on the little loudspeaker thing. And they're like, unfortunately, and we all go, oh my gosh. They're like, unfortunately, we had to pull your pilot for a different flight. I'm like, we're literally getting on the plane. Like, find a different one, respectfully. It's fine. But this was the first example of how people in America are just mean.
Yeah.
People are just mean.
Yeah.
Because they announced the first, like, delay. And I think our flight moved from, like, 9:54 departure to, like, 10:30.
Oh.
Which is not horrible.
Yeah, still sucks.
But then there's these 2 guys that are decked out in their, like, all America, like, camo. He's like, I'm from the military, and, like, what the, like, dropping these F-bombs, like, what the F are you doing? Like, I'm supposed to get home. Like, you guys are stupid. Like, you're ruining my whole thing. And it's like, they're literally getting paid to stand at the desk.
That's embarrassing.
Like, they have literally not a single thing to do with this.
Yeah. Zero power over the situation.
It angered me because I'm like, you clearly did not just get back from Guatemala, and it shows. It's like people are just so mean here. But yeah, I was getting very annoyed with the people and how they were treating the.
That's so
workers,
unfortunate.
It's like that literally it came from someone so high up.
Zero power over
like,
that.
You think the people that work the check-in desks can tell the pilots
exactly
like what
where to go?
Girl,
like
bye.
Come on.
So I was getting feisty with them. Like obviously I didn't say anything to them, but like it was getting to the point where if they would have said something again, I would have been like, hey, they're literally trying to
chill.
Get us. Like we're all trying to get home.
Chill. Yeah.
It's not just you.
Exactly.
So then we're there till 10:30, and then they come on at like 10:25. Meanwhile,
unfortunately,
we haven't made any board. Like, we're obviously not leaving at 10:30 because we haven't even boarded yet.
Yeah.
And she's like, unfortunately. And we all go, oh, no. She's like, our flight is being delayed until 11:30 p.m.
Oh, my. And at that point.
At that point, I'm convinced that we're sleeping in Atlanta. Yeah. I have made myself a bed. I've made myself comfortable. My phone's been plugged in. I have my alarms. Like, I'm ready to go to bed. Mm-hmm. So we're still holding on to a little bit of hope. And then they start wheeling out the cart of snacks and water. And we're all
no, I don't want a snack.
We're all like, this is our downfall. This is our doom.
This is it.
This is where we're sleeping.
Yep.
They brought out the first class snacks. Like, they got the Chips Ahoy,
snap,
the Chex Mix. Like, that's not what the economy class
No.
gets. We get the
pretzels.
Almonds and cookies.
Yep.
But they brought out the big guns.
Hey, they're good cookies, though.
Well, they are good cookies.
I love them.
Crap. So I'm even more getting comfy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they, like, wheel a cart away. And so I'm like, okay, they're either going to tell us we can miraculously board.
Yeah. Or
they're going to wheel out the cart of pillows and blankets.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the gamble here? And then the lady comes back out and she starts, like, making, like, the boarding lines and, like, is pulling out, like, whatever they use to make the, you know what I'm talking, like, the post and they have, like, the seatbelt looking thing they, like, attach.
Oh, the, like.
I don't know what it's called.
The barricades.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay.
So
that's not what they're called,
no,
but it's.
But she starts, like, remaking the
barricades.
so we can board.
Yeah.
And then, meanwhile, we're supposed to leave at 11:30, and it's, like, 11:15. Not a single person has boarded the plane.
Oh, no.
Some were really convinced. And then our whole, like, there was a little group of us, like, charging our phones, whatever, and we were, like, analyzing every move of these people because they're, like, talking, like, the attendants.
The people, like,
talking, and then at one point they all were like, ugh. And we're like, no.
No.
And we're like, they're definitely pulling
it's like
straws.
Trying to read lips.
They're definitely pulling straws to see who has to break the news this time. Mm-hmm. And then finally, she gets on the speaker. And she goes,
dun, dun, dun.
We have an update. I'm like, she didn't start with unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which at this point,
promising.
Which at this point, I was so convinced I was sleeping there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. She goes, we just got word that a Delta flight, they're bringing the plane back here for the night so that you can get a pilot. Because they have to have, like, 2 pilots.
Yeah.
Here. So we had one, but we needed another one that hadn't already flown for 8 hours.
Oh.
Because then we're like, that's our luck is that we can find a second pilot, but they've already flown. Like, they can't fly anymore.
Yep.
So, like, they're bringing the plane back here.
Mm-hmm.
He'll have just enough, like, your flight is just long enough that he can fly it.
Mm-hmm.
So then she's like, they'll be here in, like, 15 minutes. After that, we can get the okay and we'll start boarding. And everyone's, like, freaking out. We're like, oh, my gosh. So we're, like, packing everything up.
Yeah.
And then this little pilot walks up. And everyone starts screaming.
Yeah.
Clapping. It was secondhand embarrassment.
Applause. Yeah.
White people.
It's like clapping when the plane lands.
They did that, too.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
got to Guatemala.
no.
I was like, oh, my God.
Really, people? Clap when you land the plane.
I hate that. And, like, we had hit, like,
so
one
cringe.
bout of turbulence. Everybody was like, oh! Everybody screamed.
No.
I'm like, girl, it's windy.
Exactly.
Like, it's
You're going to have
windy.
turbulence on a plane.
And they even warned us. And everyone's like,
Oh
oh,
my
my gosh. I'm like, guys, there's, like, a gust of wind. Like,
oh, the drama.
So then the pilot gets on the plane. And we all start getting ready. And then we got on the plane. Finally. We did not leave Atlanta. We ended up not leaving the tarmac. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Our wheels did not lift off the tarmac until, like, 12:18 a.m.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a 2.5-hour flight.
Mm-hmm.
So we got back to the airport at, like, 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Got our bags, which I was surprised they even got our bags because I'm pretty sure the airport closes from, like, 1 to 3.
Yeah, something like that.
So they must have had people, like, they must have told them, like, hey,
they got a plan for that, yeah.
No, here. Got our bags, got dropped off at home.
Mm-hmm.
Did not get in bed until, like, 3.
Oh, my gosh.
So then I was like, obviously now today's Sunday, so I'm like, well, I want to go to church because I just kind of missed you guys.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, like, I should probably sleep in. My mom's like, you can sleep in. And then it's literally 7:30 this morning, and I'm like,
wide awake.
Like,
Oh,
I
I
need to
hate
shower, I
that.
need to eat, I need to unpack, I need to do the cat box, I need to feed her, and I'm like, oh, just take a breath.
Yeah.
But like, I've been getting up so early to like do all these things for the past week and a half in a different time zone, which is not it's an hour difference, but still.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, tying back to the overarching, I'm getting a tattoo about it. Here's my idea. Also double checked with sound guy. He helped me a little bit. So the phrase, it's the, I don't know where it comes from. Oh, I'm so fake. I'm such a fake Christian. I don't know where it comes from. In the Bible.
Faker.
But it's like the one that says, do all the good you can with all the places you can with all the people and all your heart and like whatever.
Yeah.
So the like, the slogan, I guess, of Mission Guatemala is do all the good.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm gonna get that in Spanish.
Mm.
And then I found the. It's not. That's
John
what
Wesley.
it is. So I'm not.
Okay.
I guess I'm not super fake.
No.
Because also really cool. Mission Guatemala is based around like the Methodists.
Mm.
So even cooler. That's. Right.
Yeah.
And then I found the map coordinates of the clinic.
Oh.
Like the
yeah.
longitude, latitude. I'm gonna put that on there with it.
Cool.
For two reasons. One, because obviously the trip, I was bawling. Like it did something.
Something. Yeah.
And also it's my first time out of the country, so I have to document it permanently. But yeah, that was my 8-day long adventure.
Wow.
It's a blessing I'm here right now. I really thought I was gonna be in Atlanta still. So
Yeah. So what sticks? I know you're like fresh off the plane, but like, what sticks out the most from you from a spiritual, side?
Just
Or why do you feel transformed?
there's not a time where those men aren't showing Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like seriously, that's what it comes down to. Is where people here are so mean. They're so mean. They're Christians when they're at church, and that's it. And if that's where they're at in their journey, at least you're on your journey. But like, we gotta do better.
Exactly.
As
a whole, I need to do better.
Oh yeah.
We need to do
that whole
do
trip
better.
was like a slap in the face.
Yeah, I can see that.
But they are so kind, and they are so intentional about everything they do, everything they use, everything they work with, everything they say. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I think that's why I got so emotional. Is like, they don't have people like that here.
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't know how long until we're back again. Like the last time the church went was in 2018 because then the pandemic hit.
Oh,
so
right.
Now it's been 6 years since I've been there. And it's like, well, who knows when the next...
How long it'll be,
And like, even the next time we do go back, it's like, will those same foremen be there? Like, will I ever see them again? I was sharing with Cheeks before, there's a 30-year-old foreman that we had been told about the night before, and he was like, not to talk about him behind his back, but just so you know, he's 30, has 3 kids, just had one born 2 weeks ago, has MS.
Oh,
so bad. Cannot move his hands. And it like, he got his diagnosis, and like, it progressed. So like, his hands are like stuck, and all he wants to do is work.
Yeah.
The sweetest soul. Like, you literally get there.
Oh, that makes me want to
like,
cry.
He doesn't speak a lick of English.
Yeah.
And like, you could just see, like, through his eyes, like, how much Jesus is there, and like how sweet of a soul he is. And, I can't. But like, if we go back in 3 years, like, where's he gonna be?
Yeah.
Like, how's he gonna be doing?
What condition is he gonna be in? And like, yeah.
So I think the church that I traveled with is gonna start like a fund for him. Just obviously you can't reverse that kind of stuff, but you can slow it,
make life a little easier.
Yeah.
Like,
so we're gonna see what we can do to help him. But even so, like, there's people, myself included, if I had something like that, I'd be like, well, screw it. I'm mad at everything. Life sucks.
Mad at the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's out there every day with measuring tape and like digging his pen out of his back pocket, even if it takes him forever. He's like, nope, I don't want help. And we are there cheering him on. He's cheering us on. He's teaching us Spanish so we can communicate. Like, seriously, just the sweetest soul. And all of them too. Like, that's where the spiritual, like, that's where the mission was.
Yeah.
Was just like seeing how they portray Jesus, and we were never in a church while we were there.
Yeah.
I don't even think I actually, I pulled out my Bible on my own time, but like, we didn't pull out our Bibles at the mission site.
Yeah.
There was nothing like here's a time where we're going to dedicate to
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right.
It's like, no, it was just constant because that's just who they were.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I want to go back.
Yeah.
Already, I want to go back.
Yeah. I want to go.
But
They're taking forever.
I'm taking forever.
That's okay.
But
Cool.
yeah. So that was my adventure.
Yay.
It was an adventure, that's for sure. My first time.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
My first like big mission trip. I've been on one other one, but that was like to North Carolina.
Yeah.
So
Not the
a little
same.
bit different.
Yeah.
But what are you? Okay, interpretive dance.
Everybody's behind the camera dancing.
Interpretive dancing.
Something.
Get it, girl. But
Cool.
how was it back in the States?
It was good. So like my trip wasn't probably as exciting as yours or transformative. But so every Memorial Day, for the last 4 years now, we've been going up to Lake Pulaski, Minnesota. To my dad. My stepmom has a cabin that's been in her family for, since the 1960s, I think.
Wow.
I think is what it was. Tammy, if you're watching this, let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the 1960s. It's this beautiful lake, and the cabin is just, it's perfect. It's old, but it's got so much character, and it has become a place where I know we can go to just be a family. There's there's electricity, there's running water, obviously.
Right.
But no TV, and there's a TV there,
yeah.
but like nobody's watching it. Everybody is out on the water.
Yes.
My dad and stepmom have a pontoon. So
what I would do to be on a boat.
Yeah. So yeah, we left on a Thursday. My brothers were coming from South Dakota and Iowa, and this is what the third year in a row that we've all come on Memorial Day. So I never pass up a time to be with my brothers and their families, and my one brother, Sam, and his wife Laura are expecting their first child. So I got it's the first time I got to see the bump in quite a while. Like the last time I saw her, she was like 13 weeks, so she wasn't showing much.
Yeah.
So they're halfway at the halfway point now, and so I got to see them and just talk about the future, and just it's such a blessing. And then got to spend time with my niece and nephew and my other sister-in-law and brother.
Awesome.
And so they were there until that Monday. And then so the whole reason we stayed that long is because Sound Guy was going to Canada
As you do.
Exactly.
Naturally.
Yeah, with an artist that he two artists that he road manages for. So he was going to Canada. He's famous, yeah. Whatever. Don't let it get to his head. That's why I'm here, is to keep him humble.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever.
Whatever made you loser.
Yeah. Jealousy. Yeah, totally.
It's a good song by Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, it is a good song. So anyway, the whole point we were staying so long is because he was leaving on that next Thursday through Saturday from Minneapolis. So the cabin is about 40 miles from Minneapolis.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're
I was
like,
kind of wondering. I was like, how's that all gonna work?
Yeah. And like, I didn't want to go back and forth from South Dakota to Minnesota. Like, I didn't want to do that. So I asked my dad, I'm like, hey, after Memorial Day, can we just stay that week? Yeah. And he's like, heck yeah. So
do your dad and stepmom like live out there?
No.
Okay.
No, they live in Maple Lake, Minnesota, which is about 7 miles from where the lake is.
So like the whole week that you guys were there, was it just you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And we hung out a lot with my dad and stepmom, and because my dad's retired and my stepmom is a teacher, so she's done with work by 3:30 every day, and
isn't it summer?
Not for them yet. Yep, she still has.
That's vile.
I think this upcoming week is her last week.
That sucks.
Yep. So yes, she had to work. But then Sound Guy had come on Monday. Yeah, Monday. And so Tuesday we went up to the Mall of America. Hadley or Everly hadn't been there yet. I don't think Hadley had either. Everly, we got her ears pierced at the Mall of America. What? Everly's been there 3 times? Yeah, Hadley hadn't been there. What the heck? You little turd bucket. Anyway, so it wasn't Everly's first time. I take it back. I have been corrected. But she did get her ears pierced. And she was a stinking rock star. It was so funny because they asked me, they're like, do you think she'd be okay with getting them done like separately?
Oh,
like with one person. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, she'll be fine because she does great with shots and stuff like that.
She's tough.
She's chill. Yeah. So they did the first ear. She's like, oh, that kind of pinched a little bit. I'm like, okay, sweet. She'll be good. But then when it came to doing the second ear, she was like moving over a little bit. And I'm like, honey, you got to sit still.
Otherwise it's going to be
yes,
wonky.
Exactly. And it is. It's not bad. Like, I notice it because I'm her mother. What? I notice it because I'm her mother.
Have
and
you lift your hair up?
I'll show you in a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, her left ear is a little crooked. I'll show you. You probably can't see from here. You can't really tell unless you're up close to her. Sure. You can see that the back of the earring is kind of sticking out a little bit. Which it's not the piercer's fault.
No.
At all. And I'm sure they deal with that a lot, but it's nothing serious.
No.
I if she wants to get it fixed when she's older, that's fine, but no big deal. Yeah. But yeah, she did great, got that done, and then we shopped all day long.
Heck
Yeah, it was a lot.
Did you go to the Old Navy?
No. By the time we got there, it was like the end of the day, and I was just like, I'm tired.
The Mall of America Old Navy is the best.
It is so good. I thought my husband was gonna have a conniption when he saw the Carhartt store. I have never seen that man walk so fast in my life. He was basically running to the Carhartt store.
Why are you running?
Yes, I had to tell him. I'm like, babe, slow down. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Because like at that point we had shopped so much that like, because I had brought a stroller for Everly. Yeah. So like all of our bags, because there was no way that she was going to walk that whole day.
No.
So we had the stroller, but there was probably 6-7 bags on the stroller. Like I didn't spend an astronomical amount of money. I just got little things at a lot of stores. Yeah. And so like he's running to the Carhartt store. So I had to tell him, you were running. You were walking very swiftly. Yeah, I know. So yeah, we went to the mall. It was a great day. It was a long day, like a typical. But then, so after we got done shopping, yes, after we got done shopping, we all went back to my husband's parents' hotel room, which is like.
Wait, when did they join the story?
They brought my husband to the cabin on Monday. He didn't come with us on Thursday.
Oh.
Because he had to work.
Oh.
Yeah, he had to work until Sunday. So
it was just you and the girls.
Everly?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh. He fell asleep like that last night. What?
Word.
Yep. Okay, Everly, go sit down, please. Oh, okay. So yeah, his parents brought him to the cabin on Monday, and they were going to make a little trip out of it in the cities. And yeah, so they spent the day with us at the Mall of America.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then his brother came, and yeah, it was great.
Alex?
Yep. Yep.
So friggin' funny.
Yep. Everly, stop. Okay, so
his parents were there and made a whole trip out of it.
Yeah, made a whole trip out of it. But then, so my favorite restaurant in the entire world is Benihana.
What?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Benihana. It's like one of the, like the original restaurant where it's like Japanese food where they make it in front of you.
Oh.
Like
a who?
The original.
Hibachi.
No, hibachi.
Hibachi.
Yeah. Yeah. And the closest one to us is in Minneapolis.
Oh.
There's a few
convenient.
There's one at the mall.
Yeah.
So I told Abraham, he's like, well, let's try something that we've never done before. And I'm like, hey, no. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. It doesn't count for Benihana.
It counts because that's what you said.
It doesn't count for Benihana. That's what I said. Yes, I did.
She said, when it comes to food, let's try something we haven't had. Every time we go to
But
Minneapolis, we
get-
have Benihana.
Yeah, because we never get it. Honey, I told you.
A little, yeah.
No, you're wrong.
So you had Benihana, or did you not?
I had Benihana with my mom, or not my mom. with my husband's mom and Hadley. Yeah, they had wings and they were perfectly happy. And so anyway, we did
That's
that.
all I wanted when I got back to the U.S. was chicken and ranch.
Oh, yeah, that sounds so
In
good.
the airport at the Buffalo Wild Wings, and we got there and it's closed. It was closed.
It was
Anyway.
closed. Anyway, so yeah, we did that. And then after that, we went back to the cabin. My husband was there and actually unwind with us. He's very much a go-getter.
Weird.
And likes to keep going and going and going and never stop. And
Same.
so he was really worried about being at the cabin because it is such a relaxed place. So that started our time at the cabin, and he actually enjoyed it.
Wow.
The quietness, the slowed down tempo of life out there. There was times where we just sat. So they have like a 4-season room.
Oh, love.
So
Love.
3 of the sides is all screen windows. And it's facing the water.
Ugh.
So that's where you saw like all my B-reels.
Yeah.
Is sitting in that room, and they have this rocking chair like right in the middle of it, and like I spent most of my time there.
Cute.
So yeah, he actually admitted that he enjoyed himself.
Wow.
While he was there. And then
Don't tell him I
get
like
over it.
doing nothing.
Yeah. And then yeah, I brought him to the airport on Thursday morning at like 4 or 5. We left.
How far is the airport from
it was
the
about an
cabin?
hour.
Okay.
Everly, don't hit this camera. And then I brought back donuts for the girls. And,
Nice.
Yeah, and then for the rest of the time, we just hung out at the cabin, spent time with my dad and stepmom. And what makes it so special is, like, there was a time not that long ago where this simply wouldn't happen. So even the first couple of days that we were there, when my brothers were there, me and the girls had stayed at their house because there wasn't room at the cabin. And just having those like lazy mornings with my dad and drinking coffee,
Yes.
like sitting in their living room, just talking, and like, this is gonna make me emotional. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago where that wouldn't have happened. So it just makes it more special. It's not lost on me how blessed we are and how fortunate we are to have gotten over what we've gone through, and really gotten to a place of forgiveness and acceptance. And it's just a delightful, and I'm so thankful to have that in my life now.
That's awesome.
So
awesome.
Yeah. And then we got home yesterday, and we were all kind of sad to go home. Just like me and Hadley literally got emotional when we were leaving the cabin, and we just don't want to leave. So but we're also happy to be home and sleep in our own beds and see the dogs. And then our AC, when we got home, our AC went out again. So had to call the property manager, and they got someone out right away.
Oh, good.
But it's not fixed yet.
Oh.
It won't be fixed until sometime this week, which they're working on. And I said to my husband, like, it's not 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
We got that going for us.
Yeah.
Last summer when it happened, when it went out, it was like 105 degrees every day that week.
Oh my gosh.
And it went out. So we're hoping to get it fixed before that happens. But luckily our property manager, who is also my stepdad, is very proactive about it.
Really? He's your property?
Yeah. Yep. He's like our landlord. Yeah.
He owns that house?
No. He's like the property manager for the owner.
Oh.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yep. So yeah, like if something goes wrong, I just call him up like, hey Dad, like this is happening. He's like, all right, I want it.
Roger.
Yep. Roger Russell. Yep. What did you say?
I said Roger.
Yeah.
I didn't know his name was Roger.
Roger Russell.
Like Roger that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roger that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, his name is Roger.
That's crazy.
Yep. Shout out Roger.
Shout out Roger.
Yeah. So yeah, he's great about it, and he's very proactive, which is very nice. And so yeah, hopefully that'll get fixed this week, and then yeah, tomorrow, start of the work week again.
Back at it. Yeah.
Yep. So that is
The
long-winded.
We were due for a long episode.
We were due.
We haven't been here for like 2 weeks, so
Exactly.
deal with
so,
it.
Yeah. Next week, we'll get back to our regular scheduled programming.
Yes.
And
See?
come at you with some heavy hitting content.
Yeah.
So stop. What? You just said
wow.
Wow. No, you said wow. No, you
We
didn't.
literally
You
have
said
like
wow.
2 seconds left. Girl.
Okay, we're gonna go eat Hoo Hot. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching and all the support so far.
Thanks for tuning back in and not forgetting about us.
Yes, and we will be up on Spotify and iTunes and all that sometime soon.
Yes.
So you can listen to us, Bridget.
Bridget, if you're watching,
If you're watching,
this is for you.
This is for you. You can just listen to it.
You don't have to watch.
You don't have to watch. But I mean, we're very thankful if you watch. So yeah, we will see you next time, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for
And
watching
listening.
and listening.
Okay, bye.
Bye.